All right. Welcome back to Eyes Open Media. Prophet John here. Hope you guys are doing well. Okay, so a lot of talk going on between Dr. Dre. You guys know Dr. Dre. A lot of you guys listened to that music when you were growing up before you turned over to the good side, right? And his wife. Okay, what is his wife name? Nicole Young, I believe that's what her name is. Let me make sure. Yeah, Nicole Young. Now I don't know her. I don't know her ethnicity. I have no clue what it is because people are saying that she's Caucasian, and she doesn't look Caucasian to me though. She definitely doesn't look African American as well. So she might be some type of mix. I don't know what she is, but but the thing about it is that a lot of people are having a problem. Well, I don't know if it's a lot of people. I think it's the it's the African American ADOS women are having a problem with this because Dr. Dre is worth like $900 million, and so when they see stuff like this and they see a man that is worth $900 million, and then she Nicole is the one that's getting the divorce, and so now there's not going to have anything to do with child support because I believe that all the kids are 18 and over now, right? So at least 17 or over. So it won't be anything with child support, but it's going to be marital support and maybe half of his empire, right? And so that's what is really irking African American and ADOS women, and the melanated women are really angry because this never happens with them, right? There's no rich guy out there that that they get a divorce from, and then they're able to get half of his billions or his millions, right? And so it always happens with other other ethnicity of people, and they're just sick of it. And they always see us as men run off to women of women of no color, women of Caucasian color, women of of Asian color or other types of ethnicity, and they're just I get it. They're tired of it, so they're really angry that Dr. Dre's going to have to most likely give up half of his earnings. Now there are people out there that are saying, look, she was there with him for like 20. I think they've been married for like 24 years, and she was there from the beginning and raising the kids and holding down the household. So 24 years. I mean, you should get half. But I don't think that's the problem because I don't think that's the problem with the African American women and the ADOS women. I think the problem is that every time we see a man with a lot of money, he's giving up half to someone else that is not African American or ADOS. I think that's the problem, right? Because if bronze women were in that position, they would want half as well, right? For 24 years, that's a long time. Any woman that's been with you for 24 years, 20 plus years, 15 years, like should deserve and saw you go from nothing to something because 20 that means 24 years. That means Dr. Dre was right at the beginning of his career, basically, right? I mean, well, not really. I mean, he Dr. Dre's been in this thing for 40 years, so 24 years. So she was there halfway because he was already a star before he met her. And he was married to somebody else. He was married. He was actually married to an African American woman, I believe, or he was either dating one or married to one. I think he was married to an African American woman because they'll remember there was some violence in that one. There was physical violence. He was young, of course, NWA and all that stuff, but there was physical violence in there, maybe a lot of drinking and drugs and stuff like that in the LA scene and things. So he was abusive, and he apologized for that. And I think they were in some type of book or something. So the African American woman experienced abuse and pain, and while another ethnicity experienced wealth and and children and things like that. I'm not sure if Dr. Dre has other children with other women. He probably does, but it seems like the bronze women always I feel like they always get the abuse always get left behind, and then you make all your money with somebody else, or you make all your money with a Caucasian woman, or you make all your money with a Spanish woman, or you make all your money with an Asian woman, and they're never there to reap the benefits of that. So I think that's what's anger, that's putting that anger out there for a lot of these African American ADOS women. They're always either there in the beginning before you become famous, and then you leave them for somebody else, or or they're there and you're abusive to them, and then you leave them, and then somebody else comes, and then they get half. Or they're there and you never marry them, and then you go and marry a Caucasian woman, and then she gets half. You know what I'm saying? it's always it's always something like that for the bronze women, and I get it. I get the pain. It's a lot of pain in the African American ADOS melanated bronze women. Kingdom. I guess you want to call it a kingdom. I mean, it's a lot of pain of what we have done to them, and and some of that can be blamed on the way we were grown, we were raised. So a lot of that can be blamed on the system, but then a lot of that needs to be blamed on ourselves. It needs to be blamed on ourselves of what we value. We've been programmed to value things that don't look like us instead of things that look like us. And that's what we've been programmed to value, right? I remember growing up, and you never saw a bronze woman, a melanated bronze woman on television. It was in music videos. It was always light skinned women. It was always mixed women, light skinned women. You barely saw a bronze woman. And I remember people protesting about that growing up. I remember people protesting about not that dark skinned women, bronze women should be have equal show in music videos and television and stuff. It was and that was just only like what, 20 years ago, like 20 years ago, right? 20 years ago, 23 years ago, 25 years ago. I mean, that was a big issue because these music labels were putting out $1 million videos, and in the late 90s, and you barely saw an African American or ADOS bronze woman on there. They would be rejected, okay? And that's because it was an agenda. The agenda was for the African American male to mate with lighter skin colors, right? We want you to move away from your women and the women that you're supposed to love, and go after the lighter skin colors. We're gonna make them look beautiful to you, so you go after them and you leave your women behind, which is going to destroy your communities. And that's what happened, right? It didn't benefit our communities. Going after Caucasian women, going after Asian women, going after Spanish women, going after all types of other ethnicities did not help the African American ADOS communities. It actually destroyed it, right? And many of the women that we go after are left with children, right? And that we don't take care of, right? And so, or we have to pay child support for, and they hold the kids against us, and we can't see the children and things like that, and it's a big mess, right? So this is what happens. And this is what happens when you go outside your kingdom. This is what happens when you go outside your kingdom, and white people know that. White people know it. Well, Asian people know that's why they stay so close to their kingdom. Spanish people know that's why they stay so close to the kingdom. Except for you Puerto Rican women out there, you guys love African American men. Golly. But now some of you, like they say that there is Afro Spanish people. So if you're Afro Spanish, Afro Puerto Rican, whatever it is, then you're allowed. You're okay. You can. But there is Caucasian Puerto Ricans out there, and there's Caucasian Spanish people out there as well. Okay, they literally. I mean, you can barely tell if they're either that they're not that they're Spanish unless they tell you. You like, no, you're white. You're a white person. Like, no, I'm Spanish. You can't tell. So but there is Afro Spanish people, there is Afro Puerto Ricans, and they definitely love African Americans. You just go up to New York, you'll see it. It's a beautiful thing, man. The Afro Puerto Ricans will hold you down like crazy out there. So shout out to the African Puerto Ricans out there. I mean, it's a beautiful thing. They're beautiful people too. Um, and shout out to all the Haitians. All the Haitian women and all the Jamaican women and everybody out there. All the Afro Spanish women and. All right, so that's what's going on. They're angry because it looks like he's gonna have to cough up a lot of money, and this is what we see all the time with African American men. It won't be me. Let's put it that way. I've learned my lesson. I've learned my lesson, and um, yeah, it's been a costly one for me, but I'm not Dr. Dre. I'm not at that point yet, right? So I'm not at the point where I'm making millions and millions and millions and billions of dollars, right? And so when that happens, I intend to be with my African American ADOS woman. So there's no, that's not going to be me. I'm not going to allow that to be me. If something happens with me and my future wife, God forbid, I wouldn't mind sharing half with my African American ADOS woman. Yeah, I'll be happy to do it. I'm not even gonna budge or anything. I'm not gonna be angry if it didn't work out. But hopefully, it does work out. I want to be when I get married. I want to be married for until I pass away, right? And divorce won't even be in my mind. But if something does happen, because you never know, then I'll be happy to make sure that my people are taken care of, point blank and simple. And I didn't have that mindset growing up because I was brainwashed to think differently, and so I acted differently. But now, because I've been reprogrammed, it's no question about it that I'm marrying an ADOS African American woman, and if we did get a divorce for some strange reason, that money will be in my community, and either way, I'm going to be lifting up my community, and I'm going to be supporting my community like crazy, and that's why I'm determined. I'm determined to teach people how to trade and or how to trade cryptos, or how to invest in cryptos, staking, dividends, let your money work for you, stock dividends, and any other ways to multiple streams of income, and it starts there, and then you just build and build and build. Crypto, I mean, your fiat currencies that are going to reset and revalue. It's important that all of us, not just the African American ADOS people, but everybody who supports Currency 365 and Eyes Open Media, and just supports America, supports their country that they live in, and just well being, good hearted Christ followers. You know what I mean? Because that means anybody anybody could we talk about the real chosen people and things like that. But if you have accepted Christ as your Savior, then you are chosen. So it doesn't really matter. And for that purpose, I want you to win as well. I want you to win, not just the ADOS African American people, but I want those that are in Christ, that are good hearted people, and want to help humanity and want to help the kingdom of God. I want you to win as well, right? And so I'm not ashamed to say that. I want you to win as well. All right, so that's what's going on. I feel for the African American ADOS people, because women, because they have to see this over and over again, and our the money that we make is going right into the hands of another race, and we don't see that from other race of people. We only see that from our people, and that's a shame. And I hope that that changes. And but I put it out there that I guarantee you're not going to see that from me. All right, so because I will be a billionaire, and so when that happens, and I'm gonna make sure my people are taken care of, and I'm gonna make sure that my wife is taken care of as an ADOS African American woman, and yeah, and that's what it is. Pete, that doesn't mean I'm not gonna. That means I'm not gonna bless other ethnicity groups or give people or help other people. That just is. I help people every day. Doesn't matter what color you are, but I do have to make sure that my people are taken care of, right, as well. So it is what it is, and you make sure your people are taken care of. right? You Spanish people out there, you Asian people that are listening to me, you Caucasian people listening to me, you make sure your people are taken care of, right? Doesn't mean you can't help everybody else, but make sure your people are taken care of as well. All right, so there you go. Yeah, Dr. Dre is gonna have to give up a lot of money. They're saying it's about he's gonna have to give up maybe about 300 to 400 million dollars, but we don't know yet. He might only have to give up $100 million. I mean, if you look at it now, Tiger Woods, I think Tiger Woods gave his former wife 150 million, and that was a steal, right? Because Tiger Woods has gone on to make more, way more money than that, right? So Tiger Woods is now worth what he was worth back then when he gave up the 150 million. It looked like a really good deal at the time because everybody thought Tiger Woods' career was over. But Tiger Woods has gone on to make another $1 billion. So Tiger Woods is laughing at everybody right now. It's like I only got to give her 150 million, and she's probably already blown through literally three-fourths of that already, maybe. Anyways, peace out. God bless. I'll see you guys later. Eyes open. Bye.